The Galactic Alliance had conquered thousands of planets. Their fleets were vast, their weapons were powerful, and their soldiers were trained to obey without question. Yet there was one planet that had resisted them for centuries, Earth. It was small, blue, and seemingly primitive. To the Alliance, it was nothing more than a challenge, a minor obstacle in their endless quest to rule the stars. But that planet held a secret no alien had ever expected. The first assault came like lightning. 100 warships, bristling with energy cannons and plasma bombs, descended through Earth's atmosphere. The Alliance expected fear. They expected surrender. They expected to plant their flag in ours and return to celebrate their victory. Instead, there was silence. Not a single human broadcast, not a single distress signal, not a single reply. The silence was strange, almost insulting. The aliens did not understand it. They assumed the humans were too primitive to communicate, too weak to resist. Initial landings were smooth, or so the invaders thought. The first fleet touched down near the ruins of New York City. The soldiers, tall and armored in shimmering suits, walked cautiously through the empty streets. They found buildings in ruin, but no humans. Only traces of movement, footprints, flickering lights, and signs of life that had vanished before they could arrive. The aliens reported their findings back to the Galactic Council, expecting commendation. Instead, the transmissions stopped abruptly. Within hours, the first fleet was gone. Entire ships vanished without warning. Explosions were reported on sensors, then nothing. Panic rippled through the council. A second fleet was sent to investigate. It too disappeared. By the time the third fleet arrived, rumors had begun to spread across the Alliance. Something was wrong with Earth. Something deadly. The Council, unwilling to believe that a primitive planet could destroy their fleets, decided to send an observation team. This team, called Theta 9, was different. They were not warriors. They were a mixture of scientists, engineers, and elite soldiers. Their mission was clear. Uncover the reason for the fleet's disappearance, but do not engage humans. Do not provoke them. Theta 9 descended quietly in the mountains of Asia. From the air, Earth seemed peaceful. Forests stretched endlessly, rivers sparkled in the sunlight, and cities lay in strange silence. Yet when the team moved closer, they discovered the truth: complete destruction. Alien landing sites were torn apart as if by invisible hands. Hulls of ships were crumpled, bent, and burned from the inside out. Weapons were melted. Electronics were fried. No human bodies were found. Nothing was alive that could explain this destruction. Yet it had happened. The team spread out to investigate. The soldiers felt an unease they had never experienced. They were the best-trained warriors in the Alliance, but the feeling of being watched, of being measured, gnawed at them. Small signs seemed to appear out of nowhere. Shadows moving faster than any human could. Footsteps appearing where no one had walked. Faint electronic signals pulsing through the air. One of the scientists, a tall humanoid named Vera, tried to reason it. It must be some natural phenomenon, she said. Maybe magnetic storms, maybe a virus in the ship systems. We are looking too far into the strange. But the soldiers did not believe her. Commander Thar, a veteran of countless conquests, whispered to his team, "This is not natural. Something is alive here, something waiting for us." As night fell, the team set up a base near a ruined city. They monitored sensors for hours. The silence of Earth was oppressive. Then the first anomaly appeared. A small glowing object moved through the ruins without sound. It hovered, then vanished. Theta 9 tried to track it, but all instruments failed. Energy readings spiked, then disappeared. Panic began to set in. The next day, exploration resumed. The team entered what was once a large human settlement. Streets were empty, buildings hollow. Yet sensors detected faint signs of life underground. They found tunnels, hidden shelters, and strange machinery. Technology that resembled nothing in the galaxy. Humans had not only survived, they had adapted. They had turned their planet into a fortress invisible to the invaders. Theta 9 sent a message to the Council. "We have found ruins. We have found signs of life, but no humans are visible. The fleets, they are gone. We are unsure of what we are dealing with." The Council was stunned. "You must engage," one member said. "Determine the threat. This is unacceptable. We cannot have a planet remain undefeated for centuries." Commander Thar shook his head. "We will observe, but I advise caution. Whatever is here, it is unlike anything we have faced." The team continued their investigation. Days passed. Strange occurrences increased. Tools disappeared from the base, then reappeared in impossible locations. Energy readings fluctuated wildly. Shadows darted across sensors. The team's confidence faltered. Some began to whisper that Earth was not a planet to conquer, but a trap waiting for the arrogant. Then, the final transmission came. Commander Thar sent a report to the Galactic Council. "We are not dealing with a primitive species.
Humans are not weak.
They have learned. They have waited. They are hunters." Moments later, the transmission was cut short. A loud metallic roar shook the base. Hulls of ships trembled. Electronics failed. Sensors went dark. Theta 9 scrambled, trying to regroup. The ground quaked beneath them, and an invisible force seemed to move through the city. The soldiers fired, but nothing appeared. Then in the darkness, a shadow passed through, too fast to see, too precise to be anything natural. The base was destroyed within minutes. Theta 9's last message was a fragmented scream of alarm. "They are coming faster, smarter, we cannot." And then silence. Across the galaxy, the Council received the last fragments of the report. For the first time, alien leaders were afraid. They realized that Earth was not weak, not primitive, and not defenseless. The humans were patient. They had learned from the invaders, studied their weapons, observed their strategies, and adapted in secret. Every fleet that had landed had vanished because humans had waited, hunted, and destroyed them with intelligence and precision. For centuries, no alien had returned to tell the story. No report came back. The silence of Earth was not a sign of weakness. It was a warning. Every fleet sent had been wiped out. Every crew lost. And every alien in the galaxy, even the proudest, now wondered what kind of species had evolved in the shadows of a small blue planet. Species that could outthink, outfight, and outlast the greatest conquerors in history. Theta 9's failure marked the beginning of a terrifying realization. The Galactic Alliance could no longer ignore Earth. They could not understand it fully. They could not predict it. And the truth whispered across war rooms and council chambers was chilling. No survivors from Earth ever returned, because they were never meant to. The aliens looked at the stars and feared what waited on that tiny blue world. Humanity was awake, humanity was patient, and humanity was watching. Cliffhanger. The Galactic Alliance faced a choice: abandon Earth forever, or attempt another assault. But even their bravest minds could not predict what would happen if they returned. Something terrifying and intelligent was waiting for them. Something that had already learned their ways, something that no alien would survive. Years had passed since Theta 9 vanished on Earth. Across the galaxy, the story of the lost fleets had become legend. The Galactic Alliance, proud and confident, refused to admit that a small blue planet had bested them. They prepared for the largest invasion in history. 1,000 ships bristling with the deadliest weapons, carrying the best-trained soldiers in the galaxy. Their goal was simple: conquer Earth and finally erase it from existence. From orbit, Earth seemed peaceful. No signals, no defenses, nothing to suggest that the planet had survived before, let alone grown stronger. Alien commanders laughed, certain that this time they would succeed. "This is the moment history will remember," said Supreme Commander Lirok, voice filled with pride. Humanity will fall, but Earth had changed. What the aliens did not know was that humanity had used every invasion as a lesson. They had studied the attackers' ships, weapons, and tactics. They had learned to move silently, to strike unseen, and to survive in the shadows. Humanity had built a hidden arsenal, advanced in ways the galaxy had never seen. Cities above ground were empty, but beneath the surface, vast networks of tunnels, factories, and laboratories thrived. Humans had reverse-engineered alien technology, creating ships that could evade sensors, weapons that could melt armor in seconds, and AI systems capable of predicting enemy movements. The moment the first alien ship crossed Earth's atmosphere, everything changed. The fleet assumed the planet was defenseless, yet power began to fail across their ships. Communications dropped. Navigation systems malfunctioned. Alarmed crews watched in disbelief as their instruments went dark one by one. From underground, humans had activated the first wave of their counterattack. Glowing vessels rose from beneath the surface, hidden by camouflage fields and stealth technology. They were fast, precise, and invisible to the alien sensors. The humans did not attack immediately. Instead, they studied the alien formations, analyzing every move. Then at the perfect moment, they struck. Energy beams fired from unseen positions, tearing through alien shields. Hulls melted. Ships exploded in bright flashes of blue and gold, falling like meteors to the planet below. Supreme Commander Lyrok's confidence turned to panic. "Impossible," he shouted. "How can they have weapons like this? How can they hide from us?" On the planet's surface, humans moved silently. Soldiers and engineers operated together, controlling both land and air defenses. AI-controlled drones coordinated attacks with perfect timing. Alien warships, once invincible, were being destroyed faster than reinforcements could arrive. Humanity had turned the invaders' technology against them, using their own energy cores and systems to fuel devastating strikes. From orbit, the alien commanders saw their fleet crumble. Some tried to retreat, but human ships blocked every escape route. Gravity manipulators disabled engines. Energy fields trapped ships in orbit. Every alien weapon that fired was countered with precision. The attackers were not merely losing, they were being hunted just as humans had predicted. Commander Lyrok realized the terrifying truth. Humanity had not only survived, they had evolved to become a force no one could underestimate. Every move of the aliens had been studied, every weakness recorded, every mistake anticipated. The humans had patience, cunning, and intelligence, a combination the Alliance had never faced. On Earth, a massive energy beam sliced through the flagship of the alien fleet. The captain of that ship barely had time to react. As he watched the hull crack and fires spread, he sent a single message to the galaxy. "Do not come to Earth. They are awake." Then silence. Across the remaining alien ships, confusion turned to fear. Ships collided in panic, weapons misfired, and fleets broke apart. One by one, the Alliance's soldiers realized that they were outmatched, outsmarted, and trapped. The very planet they had dismissed as weak had become a fortress, and the humans were the predators. On the ground, humans observed the chaos from hidden command centers. They did not celebrate, for they knew the galaxy would never forget the cost of underestimating them. Children, scientists, and soldiers alike worked together to ensure that their world remained safe. Every attack was precise, calculated, and efficient. Not a single human life was wasted unnecessarily. Humanity had learned from the past, and now they were masters of survival. By the time the sun set, the once mighty alien fleet was reduced to scattered survivors. Those who remained had no choice but to flee, abandoning weapons, technology, and pride. Humanity allowed a single ship to escape, a warning to the galaxy, not an act of mercy. The alien captain of the fleeing ship sent one last message back to his leaders. Earth is not a planet to be conquered. The humans, they are not what you think. They are stronger, smarter, and more dangerous than anything in your history. Across the galaxy, the message spread quickly. Alien civilizations whispered of the Earth Hunters, a species that had defeated fleets thousands of times their size without being seen. The story of the lost fleets became legend, a warning to all who might try to invade. In the weeks that followed, humanity returned to the surface. Cities were repaired, systems reactivated, and lives rebuilt. The people of Earth remained vigilant, knowing that the galaxy had taken notice. Humans had survived not because of strength alone, but because of their unity, intelligence, and patience. They had waited for the right moment to strike, and had done so with precision that no alien could match. Across the stars, alien scholars and strategists debated what they had learned. For centuries, they had believed themselves the masters of the galaxy. They had thought survival depended on weapons, numbers, and technology. Earth had shown them something different. Survival depended on intelligence, patience, and the ability to adapt. From hidden observation posts on Earth, humans looked at the stars. They did not seek revenge, nor did they crave conquest. But they were ready for any who might challenge them, any who might underestimate them. Earth had survived, and humanity had become a species no one would forget. The Galactic Alliance never returned. They avoided the blue planet, fearing what they did not understand. Other alien civilizations took notice, and the reputation of Earth spread like fire through the galaxy. The planet that had been dismissed as weak now stood as a symbol of strength, intelligence, and resilience. And so, the humans of Earth waited. They watched. They prepared. They had learned the greatest lesson of all. that survival did not come from power alone, but from patience, unity, and the ability to outthink every opponent, no matter how strong. In the silence of space, one truth became clear: the hunters of Earth were awake, and the galaxy had been warned.